In 2014, our goal was to educate and inspire the next generation of young Black leaders. So we set out to find the nation's best of the best to reveal the secrets to success. Our belief is that we should teach the young early the things that we learn late. Our lives are shifting the culture. Our lives are changing the narrative. This is the ShineHard Conversation. Welcome back to another episode of the ShineHard Conversation. You guys know me, I'm your host, Johnny Bailey, and this week I'm in Detroit, Michigan with social entrepreneur Danielle Hughes.
Hello.
What's up?
Thanks for having me.
No doubt. Danielle is the Dream Director at Renaissance High School here in Detroit and also the co-founder of an amazing nonprofit focused on empowering the youth called Detroit Speaks. Today, she's going to tell us the mission of Detroit Speaks, how it got started, what it means to be a dream director, and of course, sprinkle in the keys to her personal success. So, I'm ready, you guys are ready. Danielle, it's time to shine.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it. So, when people see you online, they see, the work that you're doing in the community and even your recent success with Forbes. Congratulations on that. But they don't always know how your journey began.
Exactly.
So talk about your childhood and what growing up was like for you.
Okay. Well, growing up, I was always a really big dreamer. If there was one thing that I always got in trouble for, it was for daydreaming. Every parent-teacher conferences, my teachers were like, you know what, she's a good kid, she's smart, but she just daydreams all day. My mom would get so upset with me, like, what are you thinking about? Like, you getting in trouble, not doing this, what are you even thinking about? And I'm like, Mom, I see myself being bigger than this. I see something bigger than this. When Behind the Music used to come on VH1, I would tell my mom, like, Mom, this is gonna be us, like, I'm gonna be a superstar. And she was like, what you gonna do? You gonna sing? What are you gonna do? I'm like, I don't know, Mom, but I'm gonna be a superstar one day. I'm gonna be on there too, and you're gonna be talking about me, like, this is my little girl. She's like, okay, so I always would say I always was a really big dreamer. In middle school, when we would go out for recess, I never had any friends. Like elementary school, middle school, like I didn't come into
like a lone wolf.
A lone wolf. While in college, I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. One of my really good friends from high school, she was getting her master's at Georgia State. I was getting my bachelor's. We were involved in like 3 different mentoring organizations in Atlanta, and I'm like, man, I love doing this. Like, this is something I don't have to get a paycheck for. I love doing, making a difference in a young person's life. How do we do this more than we're doing it now? Like, how do we make this a full time? She was like, I think that we should start a conference in Detroit, just make it a one-day conference and match young people with mentors.
There you go. So
I'm like, cool, let's do it. One-day conference. We're going over the programming and securing sponsors, and she's like, we might have like an organization on our hands. And Detroit Speaks was born from there. So we're doing this on the side. I ended up having this failed news career. I had to come back home. I'm just like, God, I don't know what's next. Didn't have any money coming in. I was on unemployment, making like $300 a week. I'm like, something has got to give. Started going full throttle with Detroit Speaks. We had an event called The Next Level last November, and it's like been history ever since.
So talk about the mission of Detroit Speaks, because obviously you guys are making some real waves here in the city and really nationally now that you guys have been recognized. Well, you've been recognized by Forbes for top 30 under 30. And that just speaks volumes to the work that you guys are doing here. So go a little bit more in depth about, what Detroit Speaks means to the city of Detroit.
Man, Detroit Speaks means everything in my eyes to the city of Detroit. This is the city that raised me, like literally made me. I would not be who I am today without the experiences that I've had from this city. I've lived in 3 different states at this point, 3 different states other than Detroit, and there's literally no place like home. The grit and the hustle of people in Detroit is just like no other. Detroit Speaks' mission is to increase social awareness, community involvement, and help young people ages 13 through 18 achieve their dreams. And it literally came from an idea being on a phone call in my dorm room with one of my friends, like, how do we make this our everyday? How do we love pouring into these young people? How do we do this every day and get paid for it? So that's like really where Detroit Speaks came from. So when I came home after getting fired the second time from the news station, I got in a nomination for the Forbes list last year.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, God, this is a sign. I think I need to go full throttle with this.
Right.
So I go to the summit, everything is good. Didn't end up making the list, but we received like so many like donors from that, and sponsorships and partnerships. I'm like, okay, God, like things are getting a little bit easier. I can pay my bills now.
Right.
Things are starting to make sense.
Yep.
So we put a pilot program in Renaissance High School, where I'm a dream director at now. I'm not gonna go into that too. And then I met someone who was the dream director at Renaissance High School. Her name is Tony Jones, and she's like, you know, you would be a really good dream director. And I'm like, what's a dream director? Basically, you help young people direct their dreams.
Okay.
So I'm basically like a life coach, a mentor, guidance counselor, mama, sometimes auntie, all in one at the school Tuesday through Friday. So
Gotcha.
still doing Detroit Speaks full time, still doing this full time, trying to find a balance.
You've woven your dream like of helping the next generation into your career. That's amazing.
Yeah, and it's been such a blessing, because I always say, I always wish that I had someone who could have like guided me through life, like an older sibling or a mentor. I didn't get my first mentor until my senior year of college.
You have siblings?
Yes.
Okay.
I have 2 younger siblings.
Oh, so you were the elder.
Yeah, so I was the older one, and we were literally winging it my whole life. Like, this might work, it might not work, but we got to figure it out.
Baby. You gotta figure it out.
You gotta figure it out. And I just feel like I would have not made some of the decisions that I made if I would have had someone kind of holding me accountable and holding my hand like, look, learn from me.
So we sit down on this show with so many amazing influencers and thought leaders and change makers, and they inspire thousands and thousands of people, as do you. But what's really fascinating to me when I sit down is like, who inspires the influencers? So if you had to name 3 people on your Mount Rushmore of inspiration, who would it be?
Oprah for sure.
Okay.
I love Oprah. Deepak Chopra. I've really gotten into meditation this year.
Got to.
It's woo.
Yeah, he has a track on Spotify called Opposition.
Okay.
It's really about releasing the ego and getting in touch with your spirit, and almost like the law of least resistance. I'm working on that.
Awesome.
Heavy.
I'm gonna listen to that. I love Spotify.
Got to.
Oprah, Deepak, and who would be my third one? I'm going to go with Kanye.
Hey, my guy. My guy.
I feel like I understand Kanye. I'm like, everyone's just like, Kanye is out of his mind. Like, Kanye's a genius.
It is.
And I think that some days I wake up and I'm just like Danielle, and some days I wake up like Kanye. Like, you've seen that video of him like, do you see this coat? Like, sometimes I'm like, do you see this?
Wait, are you a Gemini too?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm Sag.
Oh, two double.
Yeah.
The birthday just passed?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine too. What's up?
Yeah. Sagittarius. But yeah, so that's what I would say. So Kanye, Oprah, and Deepak.
That's real. So, what has
Jay-Z.
been... Of course, Jay. Yeah.
Jay got
Jay up there. Yeah. Watch the throne.
Yeah.
What has been the biggest challenge for you in your career? I mean, you've had a lot of disappointments and setbacks, right? And, you know, now you're here with Detroit Speaks, and you've come a long way. What has been the challenge? Has it been being a woman, being a black woman, being from a city that is, you know, going through a lot of economic things? You know, talk to that. What's the biggest challenge?
I would say probably all 3 of those. Being a black woman, being a young black woman, everyone's like, who is this kid? I got braces. They're like, who is she?
About 18.
Right. I actually just turned 26.
Okay.
So they're just being taken seriously. Like, we do the work. We're passionate about what we do, but we're also serious. We are professionals and being treated as such. Coming from Detroit, we get such a bad rap. When I lived in Atlanta, they're like, oh, you're from Detroit, you carry a gun with you 24/7?
Wow.
Just hearing all of that, our young people get such a bad rap, and it's like, I'm surrounded by the most brilliant young people that I've ever come across in my entire life. So just changing that status quo, that's been the toughest thing. People will write you off immediately whenever they hear about what we're doing. It's like, oh, it's just another mentoring organization, it's just another. But we live, like, eat and breathe this. We mentorship and creating the next generation of leaders. We literally live this. This is my livelihood. So I would say all 3 of those.
What inspired you to succeed?
Man, the fear of failure. The fear of failure. I'm creating a legacy. I don't think my grandfather came here from Moultrie, Georgia, in like 1945 or something. Fought in Vietnam, and he came back to Detroit and became an entrepreneur and started his own taxi company. And education was always really big for him. He passed away in 2010, and picking up like where he left off. When he passed away, I was like, I'm gonna take care of my mom, I'm gonna take care of the family.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it happen. I was in community college, still trying to figure out what I was doing with life, but I made him that promise. So just to make him proud. Make him proud.
So do you believe everyone has a dream?
For sure.
So what separates the people who have made their dream a reality and the people who haven't?
So there are dreamers and then there are doers. So on Detroit Speaks website, our tagline is we build dreamers and doers. You can be a dreamer all you want. I know tons of dreamers who have amazing dreams.
You were once a dreamer.
I was once a dreamer. Now I just learned how to put the do part to it. So you dream and then you do and then you make it happen. I come across, I was at that point in my life where I'm having my vision boards, doing my notebooks, everything, and nothing is coming to pass because I'm not putting the work in. You have to do the work. You can't skip the process. Belly is one of my favorite movies. So in that movie, DMX says, put the weed in the bag first. Like, put the weed in the bag. I don't know if I'm going like off subject, but that
call
just
it cannabis, all right?
put the cannabis in the bag before you like start talking about all these other plans. Set the foundation. Do the work. There's no substitute for doing the work. You have to get out there and do it. It doesn't matter. I don't care how big you dream, how great this dream is. If you can't, you praying to God to order your footsteps and you're not moving your feet. You have to move your feet. You gotta get the work.
You gotta do the work.
You cannot skip that part.
You can't skip the grind.
You cannot skip the grind.
You gotta trust.
I've tried. You cannot.
Yeah, and it's slow. Like, there's nothing so slow in the universe as success, and people think it's fast.
Yeah.
It's a very fascinating phenomenon of success, right?
So that's
there's a lot going on in the world, socially, politically, especially economically. As Black people, I feel like we all have, the leaders of our generation have the desire for generational wealth and to create a legacy. What frustrates you the most about today's culture when you look back to the next generation of what's going on in the world right now?
That we want everything so quickly. Everything. That's the one thing that I talk about with my young people every single day. It does not come overnight. You see the Instagram pictures, you see the social media, that's a highlight reel. People aren't posting. I had a mental breakdown the other day. I had $5 in my bank account because I'm grinding, because I see this dream and I'm working towards it. No, I'm not there yet. My surroundings don't match this dream just yet, but I'm working there. And that's something that is just that instant gratification. It doesn't happen that way.
It doesn't.
So I would say that's my biggest thing.
What do you tell your kids in regards to that?
You can't skip the struggle. Just like this whole, just exactly what we just talked about. You cannot skip the struggle in due time. If it comes too fast, you don't want it. I've gotten quick money and gotten things fast, and it died. It didn't last. Only what you work for will last. So work for it. Don't compare yourself to people on the internet. Don't get sidetracked when you see things popping off for people and it's not popping off for you, but you know you're doing the right thing. Just keep grinding, keep believing in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will.
That's so real. And I feel like it comes to like two things. One, unlearning the things that you've learned from people who haven't done it, and then not comparing yourself to people who already have it.
So true.
So you talked about how many books you like to read. Well, the fact that you're an avid reader. I think readers are leaders.
I think so too.
So what's one book that has changed your life as a young social entrepreneur or a Black woman?
Hands down, 48 Laws of Power.
Hey, good book.
Hands down.
Why so?
That is like, so I have my Bible, my real Bible, and that's like my second Bible. Like, that is, I refer that book to anyone.
By Robert Greene?
Robert Greene, Mastery is good too. But 48, I keep it with me, like in my purse. Like, I literally walk around with it. Those 48 principles you can apply to any season of your life, any profession, any whatever you're dealing with. It just really shows you how to like keep a level head and play the game to win.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you were to give advice to the next generation And we have so many high school students, college students, young professionals that follow us in the ShineHard community, and they want to know how to get where you are. So what advice would you give to the next generation about how to succeed as a social entrepreneur or an educator? And what's the mindset?
Man, okay, so mindset is everything, first of all. If your mind isn't right, nothing else is going to be right. I would say have a vision, be fearless about it, and be extremely specific in telling the universe what you want. When I first made I'm big on vision boards. I always make my kids make vision boards twice a year.
Yeah.
When I made my first vision board in October of 2014, and I put my picture next to 2 Forbes covers. I'm like, I don't know how this is going to happen. I don't even know anyone who works at Forbes. I was finessing Forbes out of issues when I was in college because I couldn't afford it. So this is just what it is, but this is going to happen one day. Didn't happen. Next vision board, put it on there. My last vision board I made in January, I put Forbes 30 under 30. Have a vision and be so specific with what you want to come. The universe will bring it to you.
It'll bring it.
The Alchemist, one of my other favorite books.
Same.
One of my favorite books. If you put it out there into the universe, it's going to happen.
The law of attraction is so real.
So real. So real.
Yeah.
If you put it out there and you're intentional about it and you're specific, it's going to happen.
And you know what else I learned from The Alchemist is how to pay attention to the omens and the signs that are around you. Because like you said, when you put it out there, the universe will send signs, subtle. Might be people, might be an opportunity, it might be a challenge, and it's really just what you ask for. It might be a warning.
Right.
You gotta know how to pay attention though.
Yes.
You know, and not just think that things are just chance or coincidence. Things are happening for a reason.
So true. Yeah. So that's exactly what I would tell them.
Sweet.
Be intentional, be specific.
So this has been an amazing conversation.
Yes.
I really enjoyed it.
Me too.
So I want, if you can, tell everybody how they can find you, how they can find Detroit Speaks, and anything particular you guys have coming up in the new year.
Yes, so my personal website is getting done now, but it is going to be DanielleDHughes.com, so you can find me there. All of my social media handles are the same, Danielle D. Hughes. You have to put the middle initial, D, or else you will not find me in a Google search.
Those D's on it.
You have to put the D in there or else you will not find me. On top of that, Detroit Speaks, you can find us on all of our social media at Detroit Speaks Incorporated. Our website is DetroitSpeaksOut.com. In 2018, we will be launching our second installment of our Emerging Leaders Mentorship Program, and that is our big program, like the biggest component to our organization. We are looking to launch a summer day camp, pretty much just bringing that entire program into a summer day camp. And we are going to have a gala, scholarship gala next year.
Out here in Detroit?
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
Should we be invite?
Yes, of course.
Pull up.
Of course.
And you guys can find me, Johnny Bailey, at @1JohnnyBailey. You can follow the ShineHard movement at ShineHardFam, Instagram, Twitter. Of course, check out the website. We have tons of amazing content and features with amazing Black millennials like Danielle at ShineHardFamily.org. I really appreciate you guys as a community. Shout out to the ShineHard community, the team, all the work that you guys do to help us make these interviews happen. We raised a lot of money this year thanks to you guys, so shout out to the community. In short, find your passion, stay consistent, and trust the process. And that's how you shine. Danielle, thanks.
It's my pleasure.
Awesome. Our goal is to help young Black boys and girls discover their passion and change the world, but we cannot do this without the help of the ShineHard community. Will you be the milestone donor that helps a 17-year-old Black girl learn the path of a plastic surgeon? Will you be the keystone donor that helps a 22-year-old graduate break through into the tech industry? We as a community can accomplish so much together, but the time to act is now. Here's what you can do. Scroll down, click donate, and invest in the future of our community. I'm Johnny Bailey, and together we shine.